日本時間4月13日、ドジャースの大谷翔平選手は、本拠地でのレンジャーズ戦に1番 DH で先発出場をしました。この日のレンジャーズの先発は、2度のサイ・ヤング賞を受賞しているベテランのデグロム投手ということもあり、両軍の現地実況も大谷選手との対戦に注目していました。大谷選手は初回の第1打席、初球 97.9 マイル、約 157.6 キロの直球を捉えると、打球はライトスタンドへ。打球速度 108.3 マイル、約 174.3 キロ、飛距離374フィート、約114メートルの2試合連発となる今季5号の先頭打者アーチを放ちました。大谷選手は、これで通算26本目となる先頭打者アーチ。さらに、昨年8月から継続している連続試合出塁記録も46に更新。この本塁打に、レンジャース側の現地実況は思わず、本当に人間だよね。いや、人間だとは思うけど、正直ちょっと確信が持てないですよ。と、驚愕のコメント。さらに、相手チームとしてはたまったもんじゃないですが、正直活躍してほしくはないけど、見る側としては、モハメド・アリやマイケル・ジョーダンを見てる時と同じ、それですよね。と、語っていました。この日の大谷選手は、3打数1安打、2四球も、チームは2対5で敗れました。また、5回の後期には申告敬遠されるも、相手のジェイコブ・デグロム投手は、試合後、勝負したかった。名誉挽回したかったけど、と本音をこぼす場面も。ここからは、その様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
All right, we start our show with the big show. The guy who started last night's game with a leadoff home run, Ohtani hitting .283 on the season with an OPS of .940, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. Now has a 45-game on-base streak, 5th longest in franchise history, and that was his 25th career leadoff home run last night. Now, Shohei would be the first to admit he's not even locked in yet offensively, but what we're seeing early this season, Nomar, has still been pretty good. He's got the on-base streak and now starting to do more damage as well.
Yeah, and there was a nice swing last night, that home run that put him on the board, especially in the game. Hard to believe that was his first extra base hit that he's had in Dodger Stadium so far this year, but at the same time, he is finding a way to get on base. First and foremost, as a leadoff hitter, that's what you want. Find a way to get on base. Well, he's been doing exactly that. And Shohei Ohtani is usually a guy who would say, usually around May when he really gets going. May's really his good month. But I have a feeling we might see this year that he might start getting hot a little bit sooner than that May, especially toward the end of this month. But nonetheless, obviously, he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. And I love the response that he had in that first inning. The Rangers get on the board, a Nemo, leadoff home run. He goes leadoff home run to kind of put the ease in our offensive attack. We put a 4 spot in that first inning, but really for the season, Shohei Ohtani, he hasn't gotten hot yet, but this is what great players do. They're able to kind of tread water, so to speak, until they have that monster month where they can carry a team for a month, possibly 6 weeks at a time. Shohei Ohtani is definitely capable of doing that, so I expect Shohei Ohtani to get hot sooner rather than later.
All right, well, it is an intriguing matchup today as Roki Sasaki, with so much promise, who came to the States as one of the most sought-after prospects that we've ever seen from Japan. And on the other side, you have a 2-time Cy Young Award winner in Jacob deGrom going for the Rangers. Right now, let's head back to the stadium. Kirsten joins us again live with more on Roki Sasaki. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, if we look at really what yesterday and what Emmett Sheehan was able to do, getting back on track, it's been a grind of a start for him to start this regular season. And Roki Sasaki is essentially in the same boat as Emmett Sheehan, working on a few things mechanically, finding ways to get the stuff to be a little bit more pinpoint, especially in the zone. Dave Roberts, he talked about Roki, what his expectations are for him today, and how he is in a decent spot, but hoping to see a little bit more consistency today.
I think Roki's in that same Emmett bucket as far as trending in the right direction and, cleaning up some things with the delivery and then, translating that to pitch execution. So, hopefully we can, he can keep building off that. And I feel good with the work that he's put in before this start and go from there.
Outing. I mean, yes, there was the 2 home runs, but he was able to finish and honestly start on a higher note. Are you just looking now more for the consistency of his stuff throughout an outing?
Yeah, I think that, with any starting pitcher, obviously, the mindset has got to be in a good spot, where I think he's in as good a spot as he has been with us. And then, the physical, the mechanical part, that's got to be in line. And then I think it just, for me, the execution has been a lot better the last couple outings. The misses have been near misses versus egregious misses. So it's just been more consistent. And I think that if he can continue to do that, this is an aggressive team. Clearly they're aggressive. And if he can, pitch off that split, present it as a strike, shorten it when he needs to, mix in the fastball, things like that, he should have a good day.
After Roki Sasaki's last outing in Washington, D.C., when he spoke to the media, he shared that he felt like there were some positives, or really just kind of 2 innings in which he felt like the stuff wasn't there, giving up some walks. That's also when we saw the 2 big home runs, one in which he felt he left it up, and the other one, Dalton Rushing was sharing with us, he wanted it in the dirt, and ultimately it was just a hanging slider, essentially. So when it comes to Roki, he has been feeling better with how the stuff is playing on the mound as of right now, and Dave Roberts has made it very clear that they're seeing a lot of positives. Right now, they are continuing to look for length. He was able to grind that last outing, getting through that 5th inning of work and ending on a more positive note. So for Roki today, it's just a matter of continuing to build on that. But he believes he's close, and so does this team, guys.
What stands out to you about Roki Sasaki, independent of the Rangers matchup, just what you've seen from a guy who is one of the most coveted free agent acquisitions, not this most recent offseason, but 2 offseasons ago?
Well, what we saw from him in the playoffs was a different pitcher than what he was in the regular season. In fact, when he came into the playoffs, you thought, boy, how quick of a hook could Dave Roberts have? How is he going to do in this situation? And he thrived in the playoffs. So it was a good sign going into 2026 for him. The thing is it seems like quite a few, let's say, Japanese pitchers, it can also be Korean pitchers, their first year in the major leagues can be tough. This is a very different schedule. And you're not just pitching once a week. You're supposed to pitch every 5th day. I know the Dodgers have worked very hard to have it more of a schedule that Sasaki and Yamamoto and Ohtani are used to. But this is more of a grind, way more of a grind than a Japanese season. And it seems like those guys take a year to get used to. And so I do expect Sasaki to have a much better year than last year. He has not gotten off to a great start. Hopefully he stays where he's been so far this season.
Verizon Wireless Straight Talk stats. Looking at Jacob deGrom, 2nd best ERA since 1920, trailing a familiar name, Clayton Kershaw. His first pitch of the day. Ohtani is all over it. A towering shot in the air to right, and it is gone. The first ever meeting between Ohtani and deGrom, and it lasts just 1 pitch. He ambushes it for a leadoff homer. Back-to-back games with a leadoff shot for Shohei as Tucker skies one. Shallow left center field. Carter using the glove to shield the sun and make the play.
Let's go a replay from yesterday. First batter for the Dodgers. This tied the game. And now fast forward to today. This put the Dodgers on top. He says he's best in May, but he's finishing off April very well in good form.
'26 career leadoff homer and number 20 as a Dodger. 1-0 in a blink. Now Andy Pages. Or you brought it up in the open. If you're going to get to Jacob deGrom, he has been prone to the long ball.
It's interesting that Ohtani was the first batter of the game, of course. His last outing against Seattle, the second batter of the game, Cal Raleigh, took him deep. And after that, the next 15 batters went 0 for 14.
He has dealt with injuries throughout his career, but he's certainly been able to prevent runs. Ohtani swings the first pitch, hits a drive deep to right, way back, it's gone! A first pitch home run! Back-to-back days for Ohtani with leadoff home runs. And the Dodgers jump on DeGrom 1-0. Holy smokes, what a smash to right field.
You just don't dare take your eyes off this guy.
It's the 26th career leadoff home run for Ohtani, his 20th as a Dodger,
number 23.
in his second in less than 24 hours. That got the crowd on their feet. Good crowd here today on this Sunday afternoon.
Out. DeGrom to the plate, and that ball is smashed deep out to right, and it is gone. 20th leadoff homer in the career of Shohei Ohtani. He did it yesterday. He does it again today. And the Dodgers lead 1-0.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's human, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a fastball, middle in, exit velo 108, and you know, when he's against us, I don't want him to do well, but if you're watching, you know, when you got to watch, whether it's Muhammad Ali and boxing or Michael Jordan, this is it.
Tucker with a high fly ball center. Oh boy, that looks like a challenge today.
I wonder out of Ohtani's home runs to lead off a game, how many of them are on the first pitch of the game, or the first pitch for them?
Yeah, I don't know, but
that's tough to do.
It's got to be real. I mean, that is. There must be a scouting report, obviously, that would tell him a tendency, or maybe you just sell out. You just go ahead and guess and see if you get it.
Bottom half of the first inning, and it's Jacob DeGrom against Shohei Ohtani. These are moments that don't happen very often. Two guys that are headed to the Hall of Fame meeting one another, and the first pitch to Ohtani lifted high into the air, deep right field. Nimmo back to the wall, and it's out of here. Fifth home run of the season for Shohei Ohtani. He gives LA a 1-0 lead.
Well, he just ambushed the first pitch fastball. Jacob threw it at 98 miles an hour. It was about belt high over the inner half, but not the inside corner, and Ohtani was ready to rock with it.
Second straight day, Ohtani hits a leadoff home run. Again, give him 5 for the year, 10 runs batted in, and he immediately stretches that 2-season on-base streak to 46 games.
Junior moment of the game, and Omar, this is why you never want to be late to a Dodger game, because Shohei can do this to start it.
Show up early, you know, grab a Dodger dog, you know, maybe a beverage, sit down and look at Shohei get his first at-bat, because good things like that can and will happen.
Gave the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Unfortunately, they fall in the series finale. But, Jerry, this is the second straight game we saw the Big Show lead off a game with a homer.
I love how aggressive he's been, especially early in the ballgame. We're going to access 360 and break down both of his leadoff home runs. We know about Shohei Ohtani. We got touched on it in yesterday's pregame show. Dodgers are having a hard time scoring early. Well, guess what? Shohei watches our pregame show, so he took it personally. Back in the count 1-1. Leiter's just trying to run his fastball. Now he's behind the count 2-1. Let me see if I can drop a slider to. Oh, no, can't do that. Shohei Ohtani is all over that slider. That's in or half. It could have been in off the plate. Doesn't matter. 390 feet. Great job of staying square. Head down on contact. The ideal launch angle is around 31 degrees, especially during twilight. We're going to see it right here. Exit velo 104.5. Launch angle 36 degrees. Did his homework. Great job. Tie ball game 1-1. Now you're facing Jacob DeGrom, leading off the game. First pitch swinging. He's looking for something to drive and does an outstanding job getting ahead of the bat out. Great swing, great bat path. Shohei Ohtani 1-0 show Dodgers. One more look at it. The launch angle is 39 degrees because the sun is out at the highest peak. I love the fact that he's able to hit it about 108.3 miles an hour. Not as far, that's okay. 374 feet, it still counts the same.
Jacob, you give up that leadoff home run, but then was just dominant the rest of the way. What did you feel like was the biggest part of your success?
After I gave it the homer, I was like, all right, we got to lock this in. Kind of yank that fastball middle, and then from there just tried to locate. Later in the game, had a good feel for the changeup, so mixed that in quite a bit. A couple curveballs, and stuck with the slider, fastball, all of it. So just continue to mix. Danny did a great job of continue to have a good mix and was able to execute.
How satisfying was it for you to actually be able to get through 6 today, having not been able to in your last start?
Yeah, that was satisfying. The first couple, there was a little bit more of a pitch count, so that was kind of the reason we weren't able to, but I think got to 90-something pitches, so, from here on out, hopefully just let it roll out.
We know you're as competitive as they come. We were just talking to Skip Schumacher about it, so what was your reaction when he did have you intentionally walk Ohtani?
I wanted to face him there, honestly. He, like I said, he got me the first at-bat. I walked him on the second at-bat, and then, once I fell behind, I was like, please don't walk him, and then they did. So, that's the goal. You want to compete against the best. He's a great hitter, and like I said, he got me the first bat, and I wanted a chance to try to go out there and redeem myself. But, we put him on, and, that was ultimately Skip's decision. But, he's the manager and was able to get out of that inning.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは、日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら、高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただき、ありがとうございました。それでは、また次の動画でお会いしましょう。